between Next and this record. I mean, on Next we had some guests on it, but we weren't necessarily really close with them, like, with the exception of Dave.
Okay.
Everyone else was kind of like, people that we kind of, we wanted on the record, but, it was just a different vibe, whereas this one there's a lot of history, and between us. So it's more of just a band. Each tune is more of like a band thing, and rather than having someone just getting paid to go sing on the track or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And kind of an obvious question maybe, but what's like the benefit? What's the, draw of having all these different people come in to work with you on the records? What do you get from that? There's many levels to that.
If you're talking like if you want to talk about business, having Reggie and Shaka, there's two tunes that are being spun on radio stations all over the country right now. The Shaka tune and She's Hooked with Reggie.
Okay. That's
great. We've never been in that position before, and it's nice for a good feeling for us because we're able to. It enables us to get out to the more of a mainstream audience, or whatever, and then get them hip to real music, because that's really, in our opinion, a lot of that has been lost over the years. It's when you turn on the radio, man, it's not, it's usually not that happening. So it just gives us a chance to really be heard on a wider stage, bigger stage. So that's business. Just in terms of personal, they're just our friends, and we like rocking with them. We like just playing stuff other than just instrumental music. It gives us the ability to let people know that we're not just about just sitting there just jamming, just doing instrumental things. We have other interests, and that's like I said, just expressing different sides of ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said a couple of minutes ago about how the music lost something along the way, and it's interesting how on one hand it sounds like your record here is very almost retro, going back to funk and other kind of stuff like that. But on the other hand, it doesn't sound like campy, ironic kind of retro at all. It sounds very much like and I hope this makes sense, like trying to take part of the past and combine it with something else. And I'm wondering, how do you guys approach that, and what do you do with that?
Obviously, like when you're in the studio, you can just say, I want a tune or a record to sound like I want drums to sound exactly like John Bonham, or I want this kind of thing. We didn't exactly take that approach. It's kind of fun as we were recording the tunes. It just really, man. That's where we're coming from. So those sounds just come out kind of by themselves, and then once you're in the studio mixing or whatever, you can enhance that vibe by doing using certain techniques, mixing techniques or whatever to achieve a certain sound. But a lot of it is just the music, just the tunes. We're all, especially myself, influenced by a lot of old school music, but we all listen to some new school stuff as well, and it's just those influences of ours. We just soak them up, and they just come out in our writing and in our performances.
Right.
So yeah.
And I don't know if this is a stretch or not, because I know that you guys aren't too wild about being called a jazz band sometimes, but when I think of jazz, there's a lot of this kind of stuff talking about a bunch of people coming together and collaborating in one person's sound kind of rubbed off doing something else and that. And when you guys bring in, something new, almost like hip-hop or like, parts of rock music or something into jazz, do you see that as, kind of the next logical step and going forward with that, or is it just kind of the music that comes out?
It's just really, man, it's just about where we are at the particular moment, man. That's usually how it goes, man. I don't know, we're already kind of talking about our next record, getting ready to, working on that. So, we'll see what it takes us, but I would imagine, just from, like, our recent discussions and things like that, that the next record is going to be definitely a continuation of Breakout,
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a title for that or release?
No, not yet. That's one thing that's always...
Yeah, you just got this one out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of going back to the live show, read that kind of the idea behind the band from the beginning was to try to bring, like, jazz back to the dance floor, like just kind of the danceability of the whole thing, like, at some level is just getting people to move, like the goal of the music, or how does that figure into it?
That we're not just like some, heady, kind of groovy, you just sit back and just like, pull it apart, and this and that, it's just like, for us, it's just about feeling good, man, just having a good time, and whatever moves you, we just, and we try and move people with our music, so that's what it's all about, man. It's just about having fun, just making people, helping people feel good. That's just, because that's how we want to feel.
Right, yeah. So kind of sit back and overanalyze a little bit, but it's just basically to have fun and feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah.
How about this current tour? Are you out on that yet, or is that just getting started up? Or?
Yeah, we're on tour right now. We actually got a few days off. We're in LA. The tour started in San Francisco, and then we came down this way, and we had actually an insane evening at the House of Blues in LA. Just epic. Stevie Wonder came and sat in with us.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. We're all still pretty, we're kind of floating off of that experience still.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll let you, coming up on my time here, I'll let you go, but when, you guys have gotten in front of all these very different crowds, it seems like, with your tours, like how, what have been some of your favorites, and how are the crowds this time around?
So far the crowd's been awesome, we did the Fillmore, which is always a great place to play, like I said, the House of Blues, when Stevie Wonder came out was just insane. People just lost their minds,
Yeah.
But it's just been a really good thing, so far. We've only been out for a few days, so we still have, a couple more weeks or whatever. But it's been good, man. It's been really good. So.
All right. Well, anything else you want to talk about while we're on the phone?
Nah, man. Well, we're just, definitely looking forward to getting back to Denver. We always have a good time in that area, especially with the North Mississippi All-Stars. It's been a couple of years since we've done anything with them, so it should be a good time, man.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, cool. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
All right. Have a good show.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Bye.